Welcome to another episode of the Love Notes Salon. I'm Cynthia Gregory, publisher and curator of the Love Notes from the Soul Anthologies 2.0. And we're here today with author Sandra Bargman, who wrote Ferocious Compassion. Sandra, I love your chapter so much.
Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I love this entire book and you so much.
Oh, I know, it was so much fun. When you first came to
So,
me with this idea, I went, I love it. It's
mm,
slightly controversial,
indeed.
and all voices are welcome in this book.
And
And
yeah, and yet people are just they move through that some of them who are a little shocked by it or outraged move
right.
through that and they get past the political angle and they get right into, yes, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you kind of it moves beyond the reactive phase into what's present here for me to relate to because it's
Yeah,
so
truly.
relatable.
Thank you.
So, how did sharing this story change you, if it did?
First and foremost, just the surprise of it, how it happened was such a surprise. And to have that phrase rise up in me as a result of what transpired, you're going to have to read my chapter to know what
I have to read
transpired,
it.
folks. But to have that phrase, ferocious compassion, rise within me and just sort of startle me. What does that even mean? And to have
Right.
to sit with that and really tease it apart, but it wasn't shocking. It's just the words ferocious and compassion together
Yes.
was exciting and a little jolting. And so to sit with that and really begin to own it and understand it and then be able to speak about it and go, oh, this reflects that. This in my life reflects that. Oh, this is a much larger story. So it was really about owning it. It's really
Yes.
about just
Yes.
stepping into the truth of all of that and pulling some of the tendrils throughout my life together to make this platform and this statement about patriarchy,
And the good
and the good
girl's
girl and the
role.
people pleaser and
Yes.
the self-betrayer for all of, I'm not going to say it's only women, but I will say in a patriarchal society, women are socialized with these tendencies to the nth degree, way more than men.
Yeah, that self-betrayal is such a pattern in that. What did you learn from this experience of actually putting it on the page? Saying these things is one thing, right? But on the page, it has a kind of a different kind of resonance. And so, did you
Mm.
learn anything from that?
I did. I had to learn how to weave it together in a way that
Mm.
helped people to ruminate on it as the actor in me can use my voice and use my passion and my face and my body language and all of my presence work to tell that story and to pull that all together. But how do I weave it in a way that invites people in on their own, in their quiet moments, to really
Right.
meditate upon it by themselves? That was a challenge and a great one. I loved it. And I pulled up things out of my past I hadn't thought of in so long and
Right.
weaved it in. Yeah, it
Yes.
was a wonderful challenge.
Yeah,
A
that's
different
a
way of
yes.
storytelling.
Absolutely. There are
And I
so many
love my
ways.
storytelling.
You gotta have the story. It's all about the
Yeah.
story. You share your story, and then other people experience that, which will impact their stories, which is really a lovely sort of ripple effect of story in general. So,
Yes.
what would you love for readers to take away from reading Ferocious Compassion?
Oh, I love that question. What I would love readers to understand is that ferocious compassion is at its heart self-compassion.
Yes.
I and I don't want to give away too much. Something political, a conversation ensued between a childhood friend of mine and I. And
Mm,
something was said, and this phrase arose. This was another part of how I had to tell the story and what I learned and how I had to put it on paper, that it's not about me drawing a boundary or being confrontational. I mean, there are elements of that, and that's important, and I
mhm.
support that. I am
Yep.
not someone who shies away from that sort of thing, and I think more people need to embrace that. That's not about hurting anyone. That's just
Oh,
about, I know what I stand for, and I have compassion for myself. I'm not going to self-betray that any longer. And I'm not going to try to make you comfortable, actively make you comfortable in your choices and self-betray myself. I'm not angry. I'm not resentful because I'm not self-betraying myself. So my heart starts to open up again and it cracks open and I'm available. I'm still kind.
absolutely.
Ferocious compassion is not unkind, it's very kind, but it's not nice. I don't need to be nice. I don't need to make you comfortable. I'm here not for approval, I'm here for my own authenticity. That's what it's about at its heart, at its core.
That's so beautiful. If you could just share really quickly about the painting that you found in Japan.
Mm.
And I love that we were able to incorporate that image with
Yeah,
your work.
totally. Me too. I bought my first painting. Well, it's not a painting, it's a woodblock painting.
Hmm.
First piece of art, I say, when I was 26 years old and I was living and working in Japan, in Tokyo, Japan. And I was doing shows there. And on my day off, I took myself into downtown Tokyo. And later in the day, I found myself in this print shop and loaded with these filing cabinets of all these prints.
Wow.
And I walked around for a moment, and then the first one I pulled out was
Isn't that wonderful?
very first one was this girl with a sad face, a melancholy face, just
Mm.
a heavy face. She was taking a mask off of this perky, smiley face,
Yeah.
a red mask. And it was so visceral and
I was
so
going to say, very embodied.
tears burst to my eyes, and I instantly knew that I was that girl, that I walked in the world with that kind of mask, that
Mm.
I'm cheerful kind of mask.
I'm a
And
good girl.
I'm a good girl. I'm going to make you happy. I'm positive. And I longed, there was a longing that I recognized
Mm,
for the first time in
mm,
me that I
mm.
would like to take that off. What
Oof.
that, I probably couldn't have even articulated it in that way back then.
No,
And what that meant. And, it's been my life's work or part of my life's work as a female
absolutely.
here on this planet, trying to break down the patriarchy. But yeah, it was extraordinary. The people who see that hanging in my house, men and women, are just like, oh, wow, that's potent. Because everyone
It's
gets it.
potent medicine. It
The
really is.
masks where all of us wear. But that to me spoke to the little people pleaser. Actually, she was not that little. She was pretty big.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was well trained in people pleasing.
No kidding, right? As we all are. So let's hear from your chapter. What are you going to read for us?
Well, I'm going to start with the compassion piece. What I find is people think compassion, they need to take on and really help people in ways that, again, begins to self-betray them. They can take on people's pain empathically and make it their own. And I think that intrinsically compassion is glorious, of course, obviously, of course.
Yeah.
You want to help, you want to take action and assuage people's pain and suffering. However, I think that there's a shadow side of compassion. You can blur your boundaries.
You can lose yourself.
You can lose yourself. You can have blind acceptance of things that you shouldn't be accepting. It can be non-nuanced. It can be very sentimental. So I think that you need to unpack that. So I'm going to talk a
I
little bit
love
about
that. Yeah.
compassion and move into what ferocious compassion is.
Yay.
Originating from the Latin compati, compassion means to see the suffering of others and take action to stop it. While this is a noble pursuit, it leaves much room for interpretation. The choosing and taking of actions can also be filtered through ego, control, and judgment. My highest spiritual understanding of compassion is this: allow everyone, without judgment or hatred, to make their own choices on their own path.
Mhm.
Think about the profound and life altering generosity in that. Ferocious compassion requires that I find the courage to speak my truth, to find the courage to be disliked, to find the courage to turn and face confrontation. Ferocious compassion guides me to choose authenticity over approval. My friend has the right to make choices for himself. Ferocious compassion allows me to make mine for my own highest good and not for anyone else's comfort. It allows me the freedom to assert myself, to be vulnerable, to express, not suppress my true emotions and intentions. For my own heart to stay open, I can no longer pretend to make nice and try to understand the numerous assaults to my intelligence and my integrity. I can no longer befriend people who vote against my reproductive or equity rights. I can no longer tolerate cruelty, anti-intelligence, and belligerent racism.
Oh, that's so powerful. That's so absolutely powerful. I just love the juxtaposition of ideas. It kind of unlocks something in us. It creates a spaciousness. I think first it creates a little bit of confusion, a little cognitive dissonance, but in that spaciousness, all things are possible.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for
You
sharing
are
this.
so welcome. Thank you so much for all that you are doing to bring this book forward and having us all on, interviewing us. I'm so appreciative. It's
It's so
such a
much
joy
fun
to
to hear
work.
the words from your mouth, right? It's just
Oh,
like
thanks.
it
It's
comes full
so exciting to
cycle.
share them. Gave me
Yeah.
little chills.
Thank you so much, my dear. I love you, and I will see you this summer.
Thank you so much. Love you too.